Do you know, or have you ever heard the term honeypot?
I've heard it very often, yes.
I'm thinking more in internet security, not the little blue cubicles you see out at job sites. That's a different kind of honeypot. So in internet security, if you haven't heard the term, a honeypot is basically a trap for automated trolls, automated spammers, bots that go to your site, usually to leave comments or bogus registrations. Basically, they're looking for forms to fill out to leave bogus comments and trolling, but these are automated, right? So a honeypot is a piece of software that can differentiate sometimes. They don't work really well, but they can differentiate between a bot and a human. And if it detects it's a bot, the honeypot can then make a decision. Do they want to block it? Do they want to just lead it down a path so it doesn't do anything without really notifying it that it's been detected? So that's a honeypot in software terms. But what we're going to talk about today is something called a honey bot. And this is not a honey pot, but a honey bot, a honey robot, so to speak. And the issue here is that more and more devices that were never designed to operate on the internet are coming online in homes and factories, you know, the Internet of Things, IoT devices. And this has opened up a new range of possibilities for hackers looking to wreak havoc in both the digital and the physical world. So now we're not talking about hackers just coming in and messing around with your software, your website, or whatever. They're trying to go in and actually interfere with physical devices, not just at homes, but maybe more importantly, physical devices on the factory floor. So the Georgia Institute of Technology has designed a little robot to lure in digital troublemakers, kind of like a honey pot did. And the idea is to get these troublemakers who might have their sites on industrial facilities and to detect them. So the way this works is the honey bot waits to be hacked. It's actually a little physical robot that they have squirreled away somewhere, somewhat open to the internet, so somebody might detect it, go, ooh, here's a target. They'll go in and they might try to manipulate it, make it run around the factory floor, or run into things, you know, shoot people, whatever that robot does, right? It depends where that robot's at, you know, right? But the thing is, they think they're controlling it, but they aren't. The robot sends back fake information, sensor information, movement information, so the user thinks, or the hacker thinks they're moving it around and doing things with it, but they aren't. So while the robot is keeping them busy, it's collecting information on the hacker, and then kind of as in the same way as the honey pot does, the honey bot then can make decisions. Well, what do I want to do with this information? It may just collect it and then send it back to, you know, cyber investigators to maybe try to figure out, you know, who is this coming from, or it may simply keep the hacker busy, thinking is doing something nefarious, and really it's just, they're just spinning the wheels. They're not doing anything, right? So it's kind of like the same idea of a honey pot on a website. The hacker thinks they've disrupted something, but really they've just gone off into a dead end and done nothing. So it's the same idea, but for IoT physical devices.
Yeah, how interesting. Well, I mean,
it's kind of cool.
Well, as I understand this, and I think you certainly know better than I mean, so hackers have digital, what they call digital fingerprints, right? I mean, there's certain signatures that you can detect. So, I mean, yeah, like you see the ability to kind of counter hack a hacker, you know, while the hacker thinks it's doing something nefarious to you, you're gaining information on the hacker, can actually eliminate hackers, can actually take hackers down.
The problem is that, like, I mean, because I've watched this I can watch this live on our own website.
Because you hacked into it?
No, I've got like live, you know, monitoring screen. I can see people in the Ukraine trolling our site. Robots trolling our site, just ripping through the site, trying to get into forms and do this, that, and the other. But they can't get through because we have various levels of detection on there, of security. But you can't, even though you know where they're coming from, it's a server in the Ukraine.
Right.
Okay, so, well, you know where it's coming from, big deal. What do you get? Nothing, right? You can't do anything about it other than make some decisions. Do you want to block them? Do you want to just keep them busy? Do you want to ignore them? You know, whatever. This is the same idea. If it was somebody that they could maybe access, if it was somebody maybe within the United States trying to do something, well then yeah, they might be able to take action. More than likely, I suspect what they're going to do is just gather this information and use the information to learn how to create more robust defenses, right? So that's really where the value is going to come in, is how did they hack into this robot? What did they do? What was their methodology? Well, once you know that, because this is all kind of a brand new field, right? Hacking into IoT devices. Once you know that, then you can set up defenses. And this is really important because we're talking industrial, you could shut down an entire factory, right? So it's kind of important stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. Good stuff, right? Thanks, Dirk.
Yep.